I wasn't ever sure if I was getting exactly what I needed, if I was overeating, if I was undereating. I didn't have goals. I didn't have a way to get from where I was to the goals I wanted to achieve. And I feel much more comfortable in approaching the day and, knowing what I need to eat and when, and how to dial things up or down depending upon, the training levels. That was a huge breakthrough. I could eat this amount. I could feel good. Not gaining weight. Whoa, what just happened? My name is Mike. I'm 37 years old. I'm a dad of 3 young kids. Fortunate enough to have some space in my house to do workouts, which has been great. I've always sort of prioritized fitness, but not necessarily with a structured approach. And before I get into all this, I've done probably every aspect of fitness you can imagine, from running marathons to other organized races, to doing 3 years of CrossFit, to doing personal training, to doing boot camp style things like, various and others. But now I think, what's been awesome about this is I've really been able to, marry the nutrition piece, which I've never focused on this way before, a very well organized workout plan. What I would say is I had an okay diet, right? I sort of ate, I don't want to use the word sort of an air quote kind of clean, where I would, focus on what I was eating and made sure that I was eating things that I thought were ultimately good for me, but I wasn't tracking anything. I wasn't ever sure if I was getting exactly what I needed, if I was overeating, if I was undereating, right? And so some days that works and some days that wasn't. On the fitness side, right before I started working with you guys, I was mainly doing online, combination of either online classes or programs that I had found or purchased online, where I'd do one program for 1 week. I'm like, all right, I don't like that. Then I jump to something else. Then I jump back to the HIIT classes. I didn't have goals. I didn't have a way to get from where I was to the goals I wanted to achieve. Where am I today? I'd say on the nutrition front, I've definitely gotten a better sense of what I need to eat to fuel my body in an appropriate manner, both from a life perspective, right? Work, kids. I have a better understanding of, what macros should look like, how much calories I should be taking in, how to manage myself from, both a deficit maintenance perspective. Just now I feel like I have a toolkit that I can manage myself and know how to apply those tools in certain situations. And on the training front, very similar. I've been working on a cohesive plan. It's strength oriented. It's amazing. I guess I underestimated, as probably many people do, how much benefit you can get out of something that's purely strength and strength driven, right? And it's allowed me to really realize that I don't need to kill myself with 5 HIIT classes in a week to get results. So I'm in a much, much better spot on both fronts. I feel much more comfortable in approaching the day and, knowing what I need to eat and when, and how to dial things up or down depending upon, the training levels, which is totally awesome. And then on the fitness front, again, I feel so much more confident, right? I feel much more energized. I feel motivated. I would say that I've seen a fair amount of physical development, but honestly, the biggest 2 things that I've seen is more the strength that I'm able to exhibit. So what I'm able to perform, in terms of my lifts, which has been great, and just my confidence in knowing that I can actually push myself harder. I feel energized to do so. When I was doing all these HIIT classes, it's like, okay, how many times can I do, a set of 20 reps times 6, or I'm making that up, right? But I do that in week 1, but then you do it again in week 2 and you do it again in week 3. And it's like, okay, well, what did I do last week? Now I'm like, no, I know exactly what I did last week. I know what I want to do this week. On the nutritional front, I guess I realized how much food I can actually eat and maintain, or how much food my body needs, right? I never estimated that before. I was able to go up to 2,600 calories when we first started and do that consistently and not lose any, not gain any weight. I was like, all right, that's cool. All right, this is truly my maintenance level, and I know what this feels like. We worked on over the past, few weeks to still feel good at those levels and make those levels, achievable, right, and not super difficult. I was never able to do that in the past. That was a huge breakthrough. I could eat this amount, I could feel good, I not gaining weight, and oh look, I can progressively cut and still feel good and still hit my goals and still progress. And on the training front, looking at the programming and seeing 4 exercises and initially going, wow, okay, it's only 4 exercises. Like, is that really going to do anything? Okay, well, let me just jump into it and do it. And guess what? 56 minutes later, I'm still on the 3rd exercise and I'm going, oh my God, I'm about to die. Like, and guess what? Those 4 exercises were all lifts, and realizing that I can do a strength focused program, still gain lean muscle mass and not need to spend hours and hours outside, on a treadmill running. That was a big breakthrough on the fitness side. I looked at we talk about stats and data. I looked at my stats from the total body day from this weekend, and I burned 700 calories. I was like shocked. I was like, and again, guess how many? 5 lifts. Right, somebody like myself, somebody who's pretty familiar with fitness, but isn't necessarily dialed in, right? Maybe you've tried a bunch of different things, you tried a bunch of different classes, you would feel, you either have done weightlifting before, you have some good weightlifting experience, you want to get into it a little bit more, and you just need to be efficient, right? I think that's the biggest thing. On the nutrition front, it's, again, somebody like myself who you kind of pick up tidbits of information from everywhere, right? You've read stuff in magazines, you've looked at stuff on, I'm sure, Instagram, right? There's you've heard things from friends, you've tried fad diet, but ultimately you just felt like you've never really achieved, solid results. It does take a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of planning and forethought, particularly on the nutrition side. But once you do it and you see how your body responds to it, it then becomes so much more natural. And so if you're looking for that and you're looking to do something structured on the fitness side, and those are things you haven't done before and you're willing to put in the time and effort, that's who I'd recommend this program to. Whoa, what just happened?